So some really cool news here for Hulk fans that they have desperately, I think, wanted for a long time. And look, I love the Hulk. I'm not as big as the Hulk on some people, but even I have been wanting to hear this news for a very long time. But there is a report going around right now that does say Marvel Studios is reportedly interested in developing a World War Hulk film and is actively searching for a director. George Miller has been in discussion with the studio regarding the project. Now, interesting we talk about George Miller here because George Miller looks like he's actually actively getting involved with Marvel. And obviously George Miller has done a ton of really great productions like Mad Max Fury Road, the first Mad Max movie, obviously Furiosa, Happy Feet as well, like some really, really good stuff. And he's actually met with fellow Australian Chris Hemsworth to potentially discuss directing Thor 5 pretty early on in Phase 5 of the MCU. So obviously after 2025, 2026, and even early 2027, Marvel don't really have too many movies kind of lined up on what they are actually planning to do. And with the last Thor movie being an absolute train wreck, Chris Hemsworth has really said he wants to do a more serious tone Thor movie that's going to be really good. Again, George Miller is 79 years old, but I still think with some of the movies he's done that have been pretty decent, especially with Fury Road, a lot of people absolutely loving it. Not only would it be really awesome to see him do Thor 5, maybe end of 2027 or something like that, but how cool would it be to see if this movie was all successful and all good and Marvel have the faith in him, let him do a potential World War Hulk film. Now, I'm not too sure how they'd go about it because from reports I've talked about on the channel as well, this would be an Avengers movie and it would be called Avengers World War Hulk. And the real reason why it would be called an Avengers movie first and foremost is I believe Universal still own all rights to, you know, the Hulk name, and the Hulk being a standalone name for a movie, the Incredible Hulk being a standalone name, all of that type of stuff. But I think if I have heard right, Marvel could get away with doing it as Avengers World War Hulk. So I think that's why Marvel would maybe go down that direction. But yeah, it would be weird not having the Russo brothers do an Avengers movie, but also kind of cool maybe just to get a different taste from a different director and see what's going to be different. Because at the end of the day, by the end of, you know, Doomsday and Secret Wars, we're going to have 6 Avengers movies, and you know, all 6 of them have been directed by only 2 directors. Oh, I guess 3 if you count the Russo brothers, you know what I mean. So maybe it would be cool to have a guy like George Miller, see if he can helm an Avengers movie and have it as a World War Hulk film that would have a lot of action and would be absolutely insane. Again, I've talked about on the channel before, Marvel do look like they're trying to have Hulk as a future main character and incorporate him as like probably a main character for the Mutant Saga alongside the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man. Because we know, yeah, Marvel are going to be focusing on their main characters, and they really didn't even focus on the Hulk that much in the first phase. The second phase, the Multiversal Saga, we know they didn't even really focus on Hulk that much in the first saga. The second saga really hasn't had any Hulk at all other than like She-Hulk. So the third saga, I think you really have to have Hulk as a main character because people are kind of forgetting that he was like a part of the holy trinity of him, Wolverine, and Spider-Man for Marvel at one stage. So yeah, we got to start seeing some more Hulk stuff. Again, we know that the original Spider-Man 4 script looks like it's kind of leaked and that Hulk was supposed to have a massive part in it, which thank God they're not doing that and they are rewriting it because that sounds so stupid. And when we need Hulk projects, we need actual Hulk projects. We don't need him to be shoehorned into a Spider-Man story, which makes no sense. I want to see the World War Hulk story. I want to see the reported Wolverine versus Hulk movie that's been theorized for a while that could be coming in the Multiversal Saga as well. And I want to see all of these things. And I know people don't like Mark Ruffalo as much anymore. And a lot of people are saying he looks too old and he is too old to play Banner. That is kind of true. But also a lot of these stories are really just 90% Hulk predominant, like a World War Hulk story. I think even Wolverine vs. Hulk, I don't really think Bruce Banner has big parts in those stories, especially World War Hulk. So if they wanted to, they could really not have that much of Ruffalo at all. They could have Ruffalo in the movie for a little bit amount and just have him go and advertise the film and do the marketing. Again, there's always that way to shut the critics up on that and just finally give us an actual Hulk story. So I'm interested to see. I think George Miller would be an interesting director to take this helm. Again, he is old, so I would just suggest, well, let's do Thor 5 and see what happens and see if that's good. But if it does work, yeah, World War Hulk would be awesome, and then future plans for some other Hulk stuff, like a Deadpool, like a Wolverine vs. Hulk film, would be really awesome. But again, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all the latest gaming content, movie content, all of the above. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.